EP41 opening script. Finalist second Proud Korean Screenplay Competition. Beauty Spy War. The 123-episode epic spy thriller. Adapted from the award finalist screenplay, Scorpio. Episode 41. The Assassin and Eun-ah's Astonishing Improvisation. Episode 40 Recap. Juntae and Daebeom excavate the Dvoke at the Ganghwa hideout. $30,000 United States dollars, poison needles, pistol, cipher documents discovered. Team leader Juntae snaps, "I'll kill him myself." British MI6 emergency charter flight Salisbury Protocol Kit arrives. Antidote administered. Sang-wook's fingers tremble, ever so slightly. Agent Eun-ah assigned to guard the hospital room. A black shadow scales the hospital exterior wall under cover of darkness. Syringe aimed at the IV line. Footsteps outside. Assassin retreats into the bathroom. Today's episode 41. The assassin waits in the bathroom, blade drawn. Agent Eun-ah's astonishing improvisation. A NIS operative meets a tragic end. The brilliant staging of a fabricated crime scene. What is the femme fatale Eun-ah's true allegiance? And Daebeom's eyes for just a moment waver. Show no mercy. Episode 41 begins now. Episode 41. The Assassin and Eun-ah's Astonishing Improvisation. The operative stepped into the hospital room, still on his phone, and swept a quick glance around. Who was it? Who called the security desk? A patient's family member out for a late-night walk. Someone on a late-night walk saw a person rappelling down the outside wall in the dark? Either way, it's near the private ward, so I'm calling you. Take a look. It's a private ward. Who's going to just waltz in? I'll check it out to be safe. The family member says they saw someone enter through the window of the private ward. Good grief. I've been standing right outside that door the whole time. Relax. Security also picked up a motion sensor alert. We need you to verify. Could be an intruder. Or maybe the patient came out of his coma and moved. God, I hope it's the patient. Anyway, thanks for the heads up. It's not time for the doctor's rounds. And it's not time for the nurses to check in either. That's why the motion alert is a concern. Just take a look around. Got it. I'll check. The operative looked under the bed. Checked the wardrobe. He pulled back the window curtain. The window was open a crack. There's automatic ventilation, but the window's open a bit. Probably left it cracked for air during cleaning and forgot to close it. He moved toward the bathroom to check inside. Behind the shower curtain in the bathroom, a dark figure crouched in silence, holding its breath. A razor-sharp blade, already drawn, waiting for the operative to come closer. every muscle coiled ready to cut off his breathing at a moment's notice. Murderous intent radiating from every pore. Just as the operative reached for the curtain, a sound. Someone entering the hospital room. "Excuse me, where did the staff member go?" A woman's voice, looking for someone. The room door had clearly been closed on entry. And Sang-wook was in a coma. There was no chance he had woken. The dark figure stepped back from the curtain to check the sound. Agent Eun-ah had walked in. A sandwich in her hand. "Oh, senior agent. What brings you here?" The operative couldn't hide his flustered expression. "What were you doing that you didn't even hear me come in?" I called out several times. My apologies. I'd just stepped in myself to check the room." "Why? Something happen?" Security called, said some kind of sensor had been triggered. "Me too. Security flagged an anomaly and I came in early. I checked around, doesn't look like anything's wrong. This is a critical patient in an isolated room. Stay sharp. Keep your ears open in case he wakes." "Senior agent, I swear I wasn't slacking off." "I know. I brought a sandwich, eat outside." "Oh, thank you so much. I was getting hungry." The operative smiled at Eun-ah as he headed out. She was, after all, the best shot among all the female NIS operatives. And a striking one at that. Having a senior female agent who turned heads personally. Bring him a late-night snack? That was an honor. Don't mention it. No unusual developments so far, right? None. No sign of him waking at all. He needs to pull through. Otherwise our investigation hits a wall. We're waiting. With that poison compound, a quick recovery isn't likely." "Right. The director sent me to check on the patient in the private ward." "Understood. Everything's under control here, not to worry. You're armed, yes? Given the assassination risk?" "Of course. Right here." The operative patted the holstered pistol at his hip. "Assassination can come in any form, any method. Don't drop your guard. Goes without saying." At that exact moment, the dark figure slipped out of the bathroom. Dressed in a white medical gown and moved toward Sang-wook. It pulled out a syringe and opened a case, preparing to insert it into the IV line hanging overhead. Sang-wook's face was utterly peaceful. Oblivious to the mortal danger closing in around him. His frail breath kept the thread of his life from snapping barely, stubbornly. The angel of death was opening its jaws to swallow him whole. And he had no idea. Just as the syringe approached the IV line. Outside, the operative was biting into his sandwich when something felt off. He peered through the small window on the hospital room door. He spat out what was in his mouth and shoved the door open. Spit, spit, hey. Hey, who are you? What are you doing in there? Who are you? Are you a doctor? I've never seen you before. I'm a doctor. Isn't it obvious? Something wrong with that? You're a doctor here? I was outside, eating for 2 minutes and someone just walks right in. I check on patients at this hour. It's routine. Then when did you get in? I didn't see you. You two were busy talking. Probably missed me. What are you on about? Hold it right there, I'm calling the nurses' station. The operative moved toward the night call button on the wall panel. In an instant, the dark figure struck a rapid, relentless series of blows. The operative crashed to the floor, the impact reverberating through him. He hauled himself back up and swung back. Fierce, violent hand-to-hand combat erupted inside the private ward. The operative dodged and countered the dark figures. Razor-sharp attacks blow for blow. And yet after several exchanges, it was the dark figure that was losing ground. Sensing the shift, the figure spun and wrenched the window open, trying to bolt. Gripping the window frame, it pivoted, but the operative grabbed it by the collar and locked both hands around its throat. The dark figure was bent backward, half hanging out of the window frame. The operative tightened his grip and squeezed harder. You're from the Reconnaissance General Bureau, aren't you? Haha, the hell are you saying? You're part of the assassination unit. What are you? You son of a bitch. I'll kill you. The dark figure's face flushed red as it gasped for air. It reached out, scratched at the operative's face, jabbed fingers at his eyes. Ah hey. You little, ha, I've got you now. Let go of me. You think I'd let go? You son of a bitch. The sudden attack on his eyes blurred the operative's vision. He fumbled at his hip, groping for his pistol. That was when Eun-ah snatched it from him. She grabbed a sheet from the bed, wrapped it around her hand, and fired straight into the operative's right thigh. Not from the front. From behind at a precise oblique angle. The exact angle that would make it look like the operative himself had accidentally shot his own leg while drawing his weapon, even if investigators reconstructed the scene later. The trajectory of the bullet would point to a self-inflicted accident. She had calculated it down to the degree. There was historical precedent. Moon Se-guang, the man who had attempted to assassinate President Park Chung-hee's wife, had accidentally discharged his own pistol into his thigh, while leaping from the audience seats toward the stage. In high-tension situations, even trained operatives made mistakes like that. The silencer made sure it was quiet. Then, from behind, Eun-ah wrapped her arm around the operative's neck and snapped it completely. No scream. Not even a proper gasp. The operative was dead. She moved calmly and methodically to clean the scene. She retrieved the section of the bedsheet she had used to grip the pistol. She took the operative's right hand, lightly rubbed the back of it, wiped the palm. Then the left hand tapped both sides with the sheet. She was deliberately leaving gunpowder residue precisely where it needed to be. Everything calculated, as only someone who truly knew firearms could calculate. Eun-ah looked at the dark figure with a flicker of contempt. "You useless comrade. If it weren't for me, you'd already be dead. Now go get out of here." "Yes. I'm so sorry. Take the same route back, and stay completely out of sight for a while." "Understood?" "Yes. I'll remember that." The dark figure snapped to attention with a sharp salute. Then it moved to the window and reached for the rope it had used to rappel down. Eun-ah had already made her next calculation. Her own body needed to show signs of a struggle. "Wait, comrade. One more thing." The dark figure turned, a puzzled look in its eyes. "I need your help. Help me make this look convincing. No holding back." Eun-ah pointed to her own face, closed her eyes, clenched her jaw. A signal hit the eye socket. Hard. Then she tapped the side of her thigh. A signal boot kick. "Leave a bruise." Then she gestured to her own neck. A signal strangle her. "Leave marks. I'm sorry in advance. Give it everything you've got." The dark figure turned back and drove a fist straight into the eye socket of the femme fatale, Eun-ah. Then it swung a booted kick into her thigh with full force. Enough to buckle her knees. Then it closed both hands around the soft, delicate skin of her throat, just below the jawline, and squeezed until bruises formed. Eun-ah felt the air slam out of her lungs. She was on the edge of blacking out. She had made herself an accomplice in an act of breathtaking evidence fabrication. The recreation of the fight was executed with meticulous, cold-blooded precision. The broad picture she was painting, Agent Eun-ah had fought the dark figure hand to hand. The male operative, panicking and fumbling for his weapon, had accidentally shot himself in the thigh, and ultimately, the dark figure had snapped his neck, killing him. That was the story. That was the scene. The dark figure grabbed the rope outside the window and vanished silently into the night. Eun-ah looked at herself in the mirror and took stock of the damage. Then she brought her own fist up and split her pretty lower lip open too. She studied the bruised neck, the bruised thigh, the bleeding lip, and smiled. A composed, elegant smile. She looked exactly like someone who had taken a severe beating in a violent struggle some time past. Medical staff came in for a blood pressure and pupil check and froze. They rushed to Eun-ah, who had collapsed against the wall, barely moving. "Are you all right?" Eun-ah gave a faint, weak nod. The nurse checked the NIS operative. Gunshot wound to the thigh, bleeding, unmoving. She pressed 2 fingers to his neck. "No pulse. Call the emergency physician, get the night duty doctor on the line." "Yes." The nurse pressed the emergency call button on Sang-wook's bed panel. Eun-ah lifted her phone and dialed the investigation bureau. "I'm sorry. I failed to protect him." "What are you talking about? Failed to protect who? I'm truly sorry. I told you keep Sang-wook safe at all costs." "Sang-wook is safe. But what? What happened?" "The operative guarding the room. He's dead." "How bad are we talking?" "Someone's dead. The operative on the scene and I fought the would-be assassin. We kept Sang-wook safe, but I'm sorry. I'm sending the response team. Hold tight." The operative, a gunshot wound through the thigh, neck snapped, lay dead. Moments later, NFS personnel filed in alongside the response team. "Don't touch anything. Leave the scene exactly as it is." The NFS team worked quickly, collecting the pistol, shell casings, blood traces, fragments. The NIS response team arrived shortly after. The NFS continued scanning the scene. Pistol, casings, blood, everything was being catalogued. When Daebeom arrived with his investigators, "Hey, they got him. What the hell happened here?" "Senior Kong, that's Yongho. Remember him? The one who threw Park Tae-sik in a single move. When we arrested him. Something about this doesn't sit right with me. 2 operatives in the room and it still ends like this? I can't even find the words." Then Daebeom's eyes landed on Eun-ah. The red, bruised skin around her throat. The eye socket slightly blue, swollen. The split lip from what must have been a fist. Her clothes rumpled and twisted, as if she'd been dragged through a fight. Eun-ah's eyes were red at the corners. Just barely wet. A slight stuffiness in her voice, like she'd been crying. It looked like tears could spill down her face at any moment. Then she heard it, Daebeom's voice, low with concern. Right beside her. He was the first senior agent who had ever made her heart move. From the very first day she joined the NIS. "Team leader. I'm truly sorry. But I kept Sang-wook safe." At those words, something shifted in Daebeom's eyes. Just for a moment. Eun-ah's battered face was saying more than any words could. "Eun-ah, what happened? Are you badly hurt?" EP41 ending script English Episode 41 highlights. Assassin in the bathroom. Blade drawn behind the shower curtain. The operative closes in 1 step away. Agent Eun-ah's perfectly timed entrance averts disaster. I wasn't slacking off, senior agent, I swear. One sandwich unknowingly saves the assassin's cover. Fierce close quarters combat. The black shadow in a white medical gown. Syringe poised over the IV line. The operative peers through the small door window. Spit, hey. Who are you? A life or death struggle erupts inside the private ward. Eun-ah's astonishing improvisation. Snatches the pistol, fires at a precise oblique angle. The exact angle that reads as an accidental self-inflicted wound. Snaps the operative's neck from behind. Even accounts for gunpowder residue, a flawlessly staged scene. You useless comrade. I just saved your life. The perfect crime scene. Make it convincing, show no mercy. Eye socket, thigh, throat. Eun-ah carves the evidence of battle onto her own body. Bloodied lip, bruised neck and a composed, elegant smile. The femme fatale's cold, ruthless professionalism. Daebeom and Eun-ah, how did this happen to our man? Disheveled clothes, swollen eye, voice thick with tears. The first time since joining the NIS, Eun-ah's heart truly shakes. But I kept Sang-wook safe. Daebeom's eyes just for a moment waver. Episode 42 Preview. Assassin Hunt Resumes. Will Eun-ah's fabrication be discovered? The shifting emotional current between Daebeom and Eun-ah. Finalist second proud Korean screenplay competition. Beauty Spy War. 123 episode epic spy thriller. Adapted from the award finalist screenplay, Scorpio. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Thank you for watching.